Hi, I'm Tonya Caruso. Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. It could just be the extra incentive you need to adopt a dog or a cat. Joining us in our studios this half hour is State Representative Jesse White and such a cute little friend, Delano, his dog.
That's right.
Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today.
Thank you for having both of us.
Okay, so let's explain why Delano is joining us today.
Well, the main reason I'm here today is talk about a piece of legislation that I'm introducing. It's House Bill 1765. And this is a really simple but important piece of legislation. And what it's designed to do is to provide a $300 state tax credit to anybody that adopts a dog or a cat from a qualified shelter in Pennsylvania.
Okay, and why is this something that you thought was important and that you wanted to bring about?
Well, what we've come to realize is with a lot of the economic problems that are out there, a lot of our nonprofits and organizations aren't getting the support that they typically have. And one of the areas that have really taken a hit has been a lot of the animal care facilities. So you have a lot of shelters that are simply at capacity. They don't have the resources they need to keep going. And one of the problems we're running into is where dogs and cats are unfortunately being forced to put down. Because there just isn't anywhere for them to go. So we thought that if we could provide some sort of incentive for if a family is getting ready to buy a pet, bring somebody into the family, that maybe this would help them to consider going to a shelter first instead of going to a pet store or something like that, so we can get these animals that have been abandoned. There's really, a lot of the stories are just really touching. There's a couple of spaniels that we have that we're going to be working with as kind of our mascots for this. They couldn't be here today, but their owner built a new house and just abandoned the dogs. So they're 5-year-old spaniels, they're beautiful dogs. They just don't have anybody to take care of them. And we need to let those people know that if someone does want to step up and do the right thing, that we can be there to help provide a little bit of an incentive.
So what is the timeline on the legislation now?
Well, we've been rolling it out now for a couple of months. We've gotten dozens of co-sponsors, and we've strongly supported by the Humane Society and a lot of the animal rights organizations. So it's being introduced just right when we get back to Harrisburg this month, and hopefully we'll be able to get it moving quickly and try to get something done.
And of course, adopting a pet, Dan Rossi was here from the Animal Rescue League this month as well, and really, as you mentioned, shelters are hitting a hard time. So they have to be thrilled with this. Can the state afford this at this point in time?
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, when we passed the budget back in July, we're sitting on a $685 million surplus. So it's not as though there's no money to spare. And this is just giving people a tax credit. So it's not going to actually cost the state anything. And the way we look at it was, and the way we came out with the number of $300, we thought it was a reasonable number. But we've got numbers from the ASPCA. Just to have a small dog like Delano here, the annual total, and to have a dog like this for the first year, maintenance, food, everything, it's about $1,300. So there's a cost involved that we want to make sure that this can help offset that.
Right. Okay. So Delano's sort of filling in as your little mascot. What kind of dog is Delano?
Delano is
a Cavalier.
Yeah, he's a Cavachon, so he's a little bit of a mix, and we call him Honey Badger for short. That's his nickname. And he's one of my 2 dogs I have. The other dog was also was an adopted dog that would have been going to a shelter otherwise. So I have dogs that that would be in shelters otherwise, and they're great to have in my house. They're part of my family. These little guys have their own Facebook page and everything. They're active.
Putting it on the
it's
screen,
up on the screen.
As a matter of fact.
So we really want to use. I'm letting Abby and Delano. This is Delano here, kind of help be the spokespeople for animal rights throughout Pennsylvania, because it's a really important topic.
The spokespeople for animal rights throughout Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Well, very good. And as you're going through this, are you allowed dogs on the House floor?
We're not. They're actually the only dogs that are allowed in the Capitol, aside from the politicians, of course, are service animals. So what we're trying to do is we're actually going to probably do an event. Yeah, I know, it's just not fair, is it? And we are going to try to find a way in the Capitol to spotlight some of the dogs through some of the shelters, especially in light of the flooding and things that have hit Harrisburg. There are a lot of misplaced animals and things like that are going to need homes, and we need to let people know about it.
Yeah, okay, well, an important piece of legislation, especially for pet owners, and we thank you so much, and I think Delano has had enough of us. We thank you so much for coming in and talking with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome, and thank you, Delano. I'm Tonya Caruso. Thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. We'll send you back now to HLN.